Hey guys, welcome back to Game Time Podcast, where everything is okay. I come up with a new intro every time. I can't come up with a good intro, so I just hit it off. And we have Monster and me.
Samari. Is her name Marvix?
Samari.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
What do you think about Nintendo making a new mini console?
There isn't any new mini console.
You don't like the Nintendo Super Nintendo Mini?
That's not a thing.
Yeah, it is.
No, Sonic Fan. There's no new console Nintendo's making.
No, I mean, what do you
Yeah,
think
like-
of the idea?
I don't think it would be necessary
Why?
because there's no reason for it. We already have the Nintendo Switch Lite and the normal Switch. A Nintendo Switch Mini would really just be nothing more than a Switch Lite, but maybe smaller or the same thing.
I mean, like, Nintendo 64.
We don't
Oh
need
yeah.
that.
And that sounds cool.
But also, that's not what you were saying. You were saying a Nintendo Switch Mini, not a 64.
No, I didn't say Nintendo Switch Mini. I said Nintendo like a mini console.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Those little mini consoles that have like emulator games.
Oh, we're not doing. Okay. Sonic Fan, we're not counting emulators. Those aren't a part of this.
I'm not talking about emulators. I'm talking about.
But that's what you just said, though.
I'm talking about the little.
I don't know what you mean. Then I'm just confused now.
Look up NES Mini.
I don't think that's a real thing, though.
Yeah, it is.
It most likely is, but I'll check it. You said Nintendo what?
NES Mini.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was made by Nintendo. This was like a while ago. It was basically it was like a new version of the original that wasn't released in 1985, but it comes with preloaded with 30 to 38-bit games. Yeah, I don't know anything about that Sonic Fan, so I don't know. So
Well, basically, it was like you had all the classics, like Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt,
and other stuff.
stuff like that. What do you think about a 64 kind of style of that?
I don't really like those type of games, so I guess that's about it.
You don't think a 64 type of style of that would work?
No, it's just I'm not into the older generation of consoles. I'm not into it. That's about it.
I am, and I think they call like for like an anniversary it would be okay, but no, I'm on the same note as you. It wouldn't.
There's no reason for it anymore.
I think it would be okay for some kind of anniversary or something.
I think it probably better to release a mini version of the GameCube, honestly.
Yeah. I want a
Because literally all
64.
those games are now on Switch. So
I want a 64 because then they can bring. Then they can bring the 64 DD.
that's already on Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo 64 DD.
I'm pretty sure that the few Donkey Kong games that are on Switch Online already. So maybe.
No, I'm talking on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo 64 DD.
Yeah, I'm saying that I think that's already on Switch.
No, look it up.
Well, I can't keep looking these up, Sonic. Then you just gotta. I think this topic is just kind of too broad because I just don't know nothing about it.
You're wrong.
I'm not. I'm just genuinely confused because I don't know anything about this. The most I could assume is they might be on Switch. They might not be.
It's a console that was. It was like gonna be DLC to the original 64.
That's not DLC. That's just they just remade the console. This Nintendo's
No,
the NES Mini is.
No, what the
What are you talking about?
What the 64 DD was gonna be adding, like you could get extra stuff and.
You say 64 DD? What's that?
Yeah, look it up.
I can't find nothing on this. DD? I think you might be saying it wrong because there's nothing on 64 DD.
Look up Nintendo 64 DD expansion pack.
Nintendo.
It was an add-on to the console.
I'm still trying to look up, Simon. It says the Nintendo 64 expansion pack is a 4 megabytes RAM upgrade that doubled the console's memory from 8 megabytes to enable a higher resolution for larger worlds while requiring for this game like Donkey Kong 64. 64 and Majora's Mask was originally designed to support 64 disk drive. Oh.
Disk drive.
So yeah, you were saying it a bit wrong, but it's okay. It was just an expansion. It was just an expansion slot to give more space and to help general resolution problems. Yeah.
Well,
that's about it, though. But those games are now on Switch, so in the end, at least it did something good.
I'm okay. Have you ever played Paper Mario?
Nope.
Any of them?
But with what though?
Oh no.
No, I said.
What is it, Sonic?
Have you played any of the Paper Mario games?
Nope.
Okay. That was my favorite Mario game.
I'm waiting. I want a new Paper Mario, and this time go back to what made it classic.
But Sonic fan, what you say is classic isn't what it means for everyone else, so I don't think that works.
Okay, what made it fun?
That's the thing. That definition isn't a singular thing. That's different for everyone.
Okay, what made it Mario, Paper Mario to begin with?
I don't know. That's a lot of different things, Sonic fan.
What do you mean?
What I'm saying is there's no real definition of what makes something fun. There's too many variations of that. So what I'm saying is what you're asking for is a bit
What
like
made it an
impossible.
RPG to begin with?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. RPG elements are basically based off of preference, not off of one singular thing. So technically, you might not like this version of Paper Mario, but other people did, and that's okay.
Whatever.
Hmm?
It's just the point is that I wish Paper Mario.
Hmm?
I wish Paper Mario would go back to its roots.
But the thing is, Sonic fan, that's what you want personally. I assume that's what you mean, at least. Realistically, I don't. No one knows really if Paper Mario will ever get a new game, or it might never. It's kind of in limbo, I would say.
It's just I miss Paper Mario. Paper Mario.
I understand, but you also can't. You can't expect something like that to happen, though. You can miss it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, you gotta be within the realm of what's possible. You know?
Well, what's on your mind of anime?
What?
What's on your mind of anime?
What about anime?
What's your favorite anime that you've been watching recently?
I don't have any.
Well, what's the anime you've been recently watching?
Recently watching, I haven't been really watching much of anything. I mean, I would be watching Dr. Stone, but I'm kind of just waiting for it to end so that I can watch the parts that I want to see. That's about it.
I've been watching a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I really want to learn reading so I can learn my games and the Japanese text on the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Something about that you would first need to learn how to read and then understand that, and
I'm saying I'm going to school. I'm gonna be going.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna say like specifically learning Japanese that takes years.
No,
So if you're gonna do that, you have to commit to it.
The subtitles in the episode.
Oh, you mean that? Oh, I thought you meant like the actual reading Japanese text. My bad.
No.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that's gonna take you years. It takes anyone years, you know.
Japanese or English subtitles.
Japanese, learning like reading Japanese will take you a very long. It takes anyone a very long time. So. Yeah.
Yeah. I could barely sleep last night
Why?
because I couldn't get comfy.
Oh, that happens. Yeah, I get that.
Happens sometimes. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, it happens, Sonic.
And I could barely sleep last night. And
I know you just said that.
I'm sorry, but
No, it's okay, man. It's okay.
I just I want to go back to the days of the classic.
That's not possible, Sonic fan.
I know.
You gotta move forward. That's how life is.
I know we gotta move forward.
So it's like, because the thing is, if you stay in the past, you don't know. You can't look at what's to come. Eventually, like there's a chance that Star Fox will get revived as a gaming series again. Can you believe that? There is a chance, and I think that's better than trying to I'm gonna say hold on to what existed beforehand. Because sure, it was fun during those times, but those were times where if there was a problem with the game, there's nothing you could do about it to fix it. And I don't think anyone wants that.
And one of the things that bothered me when I was a kid, and still today, is that when gaming was first coming out, they marketed it as a toy.
Wait, what are you talking about?
They market gaming systems as toys.
I think there's a chance you might have mislooked at what you were reading or looking at. I mean,
No,
Nintendo didn't mark anything as toys.
They marketed the original NES as a toy. It's not a
No,
toy.
I think you just mislooked at it, Sonic fan.
Then what am I looking at?
You might have just misunderstood. I'll look it up just to be sure. So you said you thought they were marketing the NES as a toy, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look it up. You said the NES?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Well, from what it looks like. So, Sonfan, I'm gonna say this. From what it looked like, there is some truth to what you're saying, but for your case, that's not possible.
What are you saying?
By the time you were able to play games, this is way after the NES came out. What I'm saying is, you would have had to been almost 40 for this to be possible. You would already be 40 by now, or more.
I know, but I'm not saying I was.
I think it's more like you misunderstood what you were looking at because they didn't. By the time you were able to play games, the NES wasn't even commercialized anymore.
I was born when the Super Nintendo was a big thing.
Yes, but the NES specifically, no.
Yeah, I don't like the way they say it when it was.
Yeah, but the thing is, when it was what you saw, at least specifically, that's not possible still. There was no more commercials of it anymore. They already moved on to the next device. I think what you were probably thinking, most likely remembering, is when you saw stuff about it, you thought, I think you were still basically, you were getting the information that was available at the time about it, but back then, but not what it actually was. Now, yes, there were actual toys that came with games that were on the NES. That is a true thing, which technically, I guess, goes with the whole thing marketing as a toy, which is true. But what I'm saying is, you're basically misunderstood what were you looking at, which is normal.
No, I just would watch documentaries, and they would say, "Oh, we marketed that whole toy, so it would do well."
That is true. They did, because it was to avoid the whole issue with stores not stocking up consoles because something was going on at the time. Okay. But yes, Sonic Fan, from what it looks like, I think basically, yeah, you're going off information that happened back then, but that never actually happened to you, though.
I know, but it hurts my feelings that game consoles was treated that way.
What do you mean the console was? They just decided to market it as a toy because, let me read what it said. What's it called?
Atari ended.
We're not talking about the Atari. You were talking about the NES.
No, all I know is that the documentary said something about Atari ending up crashing the whole video game craze.
Oh yeah, because I think it was horrible from what I understood. Let me read it though. Let me find out. Atari. Well, you said Atari what?
Gaming crash.
Atari.
That's what I know, because I watched a couple documentaries on the history of video games.
So basically, the Atari made a bunch of games that were all horrible. Yeah. They made too many of the console. They didn't even sell much, and there was not much quality control. Basically, it was just horrible. That's why, and that Atari never made a console again. Yeah.
Well, they did the a Lynx or whatever, the Jaguar.
I don't know what that is, Sonic Fan, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, the Jaguar was like a Nintendo 64 type of thing, cheap knockoff.
Voltaire, just give me a second. Voltaire, if you're gonna stay, stay, but like you can't keep leaving and joining so many times. I understand you get bored, but if you get bored, then I think just do something else. Then maybe like watch a show or something, or just chill in VC or something like that. Continue, Sonic Man.
As I said, the Atari. Oh.
It did horrible. It basically ruined it. It basically made other companies afraid to put their console in stores.
And it made gaming like not fun. for a while.
No, it did. No, they didn't change gaming. I think it just put a stigma on the future of gaming for console.
What do you mean?
There are still people playing
stigma?
games Sonic Fan. People were. It created a stigma, and that's the reason why Sonic Fan. It comes back to the NES thing. That is why they marketed back in 1985 as a toy and made toys that connected to the game in some integrational way, or
Then
in some
why
way that
would-
was integral.
Then why would they call it a gaming console today?
Because that's what it is. That is what it is now. It's just the fact that back then they couldn't call it that because of the stigma that was still around at the time. Do you understand?
Oh,
But by the time you were playing gaming, by the time you were gaming and whatnot, Sonic Fan, that wasn't a thing anymore.
oh.
By then, they were making the Super NES and GameCube stuff that, or like Game Boy, all those other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they started calling it a console again.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know if we mentioned on this podcast before, but the music I'm playing is Carnival Night, as the story goes with some of these tracks from Sonic 3. And Michael Jackson worked on them, so they cannot, the Sega cannot bring back those music tracks.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, I'm back. What you said, Sonic Fan?
What I was saying is that I don't know we touched upon it in the very podcast, but we have, me and you, is that Michael Jackson worked on some of the music of Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Okay.
And they can't use their own music anymore because the Jackson family has, like, owns it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll look that up, actually. I'll look it up. Is it the Sega? Is it Sonic 3 music you said?
Yeah. Is that Sega doesn't want to buy the music back?
Oh, so it looks like there's basically a copyright issue. With basically, it's not just because of that. There's other issues going around. I'm assuming there might have been multiple parties working on that music. So from what it looks like, there might not be one single person who owns the music, and that's why they don't know. That's why it hasn't been used since then.
Oh, I thought
It's not just the Jackson 5, it's like other people.
but they own it somewhat.
Yeah, they own a part of it. Let me read this. It says the tracks composed by the Jackson team included Brad Buxford and has been legal limbo for years. Sega's found it difficult to clear rights with the estate and creating nightmare legal fears. It's speculated that Sega feared a costly lawsuit regarding the ownership of, causing them to avoid re-releasing the game for years until the compromise was found. Replacement soundtrack for Sonic. Original Sega used the music from the early prototype PC version of the game were created in June by June's name I can't pronounce, rather than the final 19. Basically, there's too much stuff going on.
Okay. I caught it because Jackson passed away and the family now owns it.
I mean, what's it called? If that's the case, it might be simple the fact that the manager and the family don't want to agree for them to use it, or it might just be the fact that because of him passing away abruptly, there's no way to clear who has rights to it anymore, since the person who was involved mostly with the song is no longer available to help with that. So yeah.
And they say that why he didn't get work on the Sonic and Knuckles app is that he was framed for touching little.
We're not gonna talk about the Sonic fan. No.
I know what you know what I mean.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. So
Okay, we're not gonna talk about that. But
no, but
I just wish they could get the little music back somehow.
that's just not possible, man.
Yeah, because Jackson isn't a live act anymore.
Yeah, he passed away. I want to say like, I guess
They-
what is it? I guess 17 years ago. Yeah.
Wasn't it 2004?
No, 2009.
Oh.
He's been dead for, I guess, a while.
An old friend of mine, before he became against me, told me that he didn't do anything bad, but he got in trouble.
In trouble with what?
As I said, claiming that.
Oh no, never mind. Never mind, Sonic fan. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't. Never mind. And if all I will say, if that is the case, he should probably go to jail. That's all I can really say.
Just, Well, I think that's all the time for this episode of Game Time Podcast. But go post a comment or some, get on your lazy crap and actually do something. Or, I don't know. I'm just trying to be funny, but post a comment on the podcast. Tell us what you think. Right, Monster?
What happened?
I said they should post a comment on what you think we should discuss next.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.